So I know the world of stock imagery well. Back before Mission was what it is today, a network of, C-suite podcasts, we were building a Medium publication. We had tons of people writing for us, and we were always trying to find images to swap in and make them better. And it was an interesting journey trying to figure out how to find the right images. There was like a flood of them. And so hearing that that's the problem every day that you're thinking about, like how to make this easy for a customer to find the perfect image and to license it.
Well, and the thing is there's hundreds of millions now, right? So the chances are we have the right one. And I'm always fascinated by the fact that when you're doing that work, you probably start off and you've got that picture in your head. Pretty good idea of what you're looking for. And then you're taking that picture and you're trying to figure out how to describe it in the right words. And you put that into search engines or you put that into our websites, and then we see those words, and then we're trying to figure out what those words mean and translate it back into a visual. And so it starts with a visual, it ends with a visual, but in between it's a bunch of words. And that's where there's tremendous opportunity to both get it right and get it wrong. The ability for us to understand what you're really looking for is key. If you're saying you're looking for an apple, that's easy. We know what an apple is. We have many images of apples. However, when you get into more conceptual terms, which I think are the most interesting parts of that creative experience, if you're searching for images of happiness or success or teamwork or failure or frustration or whatever that concept is, well, what does that look like? It looks like many different things. So how do we understand what the right visual is that you're looking for? That's one of the more fascinating problems that we're constantly solving.
Interesting. Yeah. I think about the keywords that I used to put in, like you're saying, like successful, stormy, like clouds and things would pop up. And I'm like, no, I did not want someone on a boat. And so, yeah, interesting thinking about like how to get into my brain of like what I'm looking for to actually deliver back to me something that I want to use. And then thinking about other cultures of like, what does happiness mean to them? What does success mean to them? Like probably a very different visual than what it maybe means to me.
Yep,
That-
exactly, right? And the relationship between words tells us a lot. We are not here to decide what happiness looks like or whatever that concept is. What we want to do is present you with several different depictions of that that allow you to narrow down that path and ultimately find the right visual for what you're trying to communicate. And that to me again is a fascinating thing to try and figure out to do well.
How do you train the models on the back end? I mean, are the customers kind of training them in a way for other customers to find what works? Or like, what does that look like to be able to present the best options to a customer?
I mean, without giving up the secret sauce, as
Give
it
me all
were.
the secrets. Don't hold
Right.
anything back, Grant.
I mean, I don't think you'll be surprised to know that our search engine works not dissimilar to most, which is that you're leveraging the customer input on a constant basis to improve the algorithm. So you're understanding, okay, well, customers who searched for this term in the past really liked these images. So you use that to establish and build relevance. But then you have to bring in other dimensions. How is it different depending on where the person in the world is? How do you deal with the fact that things change? A good example is how visuals really changed very suddenly because of the pandemic. Visuals are always changing the way that we represent ourselves as individuals, as people, as a society, as concept. That is constantly changing, but it's typically more organic and more gradual. If you went back and look at what an image of business looks like today versus 10 years ago, you would see it looks very different. But what was interesting about the pandemic was it happened in a moment. Suddenly, what it looked like in terms of business meetings and education and travel and leisure and dating, all those things changed in a moment. I mean, a really clear example was we needed images and visuals of people wearing masks in all those environments. We needed images of people collaborating via Zoom because that became more of the norm. And that happened very suddenly. So, how do you make sure that you get those visuals and your search engine can react fast enough to make sure that you're surfacing those more contemporary, current depictions to customers in the search results? So again, multiple dimensions. There's the relevance, but there's other dimensions that really play into getting people to that right visual.
Yeah. So how did you source those visuals really quickly to be able to give the customers what they wanted?
Our visuals, our creative visuals on gettyimages.com and on iStock are sourced a lot through a community base. And we have a network of hundreds of thousands of contributors, photographers, videographers, illustrators that provide us with that material. And we have a subset of those who are exclusive to us. And we work extremely closely with them. So we are able to put out briefs to them and other information to let them know we need these things. Now, our contributors are also very savvy. They're paying attention to what's happening in the world. They understand what's changing. They understand the opportunities to update the visual depictions of concepts. But we can activate that contributor base very quickly. And they're a very talented group of professionals that are able to capture those moments and update those moments very quickly and get them for us. So that's really what Getty Images is really good at, is working with talented individuals to source and to get to our customers those compelling visuals.
Hey, thanks for watching. This segment was made possible by our friends at Salesforce Commerce Cloud. If you're looking for the #1 platform for all your commerce needs, go check out salesforce.com/commerce. And don't forget to subscribe below and tap that little bell icon so you can stay on top of all the amazing new segments and full episodes that we'll be putting out over the coming year with some of the best and most influential commerce leaders out there.